Hello 212 students. In this tutorial I'm going to talk about the content pane and the layers that are on your map. So the content pane will show your map and it will show all the layers that are being shown on the map. Now what are these layers? These layers are vector shape files that basically contain information about the geography and geometry of certain things. So for example, on this one, we have a reference map that shows this dark gray ocean. It has these Tissot ellipses, which are these circles and ellipses. It has the grammatical subset, which are these lines. It has the countries in gray, and it has another dark gray base. I'm not sure why it has two. Anyways, so in the content pane, you can actually turn on and off these layers, so you're only seeing what you want to. For example, if you uncheck the Tissot ellipses, then they disappear. Uncheck graticule, disappears. Okay? So when you're working with data, you get to choose what is on and what is off. And so, in addition, in this particular version of contents, we're actually looking at the drawing order, or in other words, what is on top. And we can change that. For example, right now, the Tissot ellipses are on top of everything. But if I put it under countries, then wherever it overlaps with countries, since countries are on top, countries will be visible, and the Tissot ellipses will only be visible if a country is not covering it. Okay? Now, I'm going to show you how you add these layers to the map and how you remove them. Let's say I don't want Tissot ellipses anymore. You can right-click on it, and you can go to Remove. Now it's just gone altogether. But then you realize, oh shoot, I actually really need that. Well, you can go to where it's saved and re-add it. Usually that's in the catalog pane. It happens to be in the geodatabase of this project. So you open the databases, open the map projections geodatabase. This is where data is saved for the project. And you go to this, you can either click on it and drag it onto the map, or you can right-click on it and click Add to Current Map. And it appears. Notice that it has a different color this time. That's because last time it was told what color to have. And we'll show you in a future tutorial how to change the appearance and symbology of these things. Now there's another way you can add data. If you have a folder connection that contains a lot of data, you can go into the folder until you find what you're looking for, and then you can do the same thing. All right? Now layers, these shape files contain more data than just a picture of what they look like. If you right-click, you can go to Properties, and you can learn a lot of information about them. General stuff, what their name is. You can go down to elevation data if it has any. The data that you're going to be interested in a lot is under Source. It tells us where the data comes from, the database, the geometry type. These are polygons. You can see the extent, or in other words, where on the map these points are, like what range of latitude and longitude they are. The spatial reference, you can see what projection, coordinate system, the meridians that's based off of, all this other stuff. And we'll talk about that in future tutorials. Anyways, if you jump over on the content pane to this cylinder and click on it, you can also see that information of where the data is coming from. It's all coming from the Q drive, as we can see here. You can see, you can select things on the map by going up here and clicking select, and you can select certain features. And with this selection one, you can turn it off so that you can't select things of that, but you can select others. So I can't select the Tissot indicatrix, but I can select other stuff because I unchecked it. And the editing and the snapping and the labeling we'll go over in a future video and in class. But just know that while we're working with our data, oftentimes we have to change things, and the content plane is a great place to start. You can also pull up attribute tables that give us an Excel table of information about each and every one of these has more data associated with it. But for now, just be aware of how you can use the content pane to be able to turn on and off layers and to move them. In the next video, we're going to talk a little bit about coordinate systems and how each layer and the overall map has a coordinate system.